Hey guys, it's Ashley and oh my gosh, this episode was so crazy and intense. We got some answers. We don't know who Charles is yet, but so good. It just kept me on the edge of my seat the whole time and haven't had a really good one like this in a while. Well, in my opinion. Yeah, I'm just gonna be talking about Pretty Little Liars 604 Don't Look Now. Honor of PLL Day, I'm wearing my Pretty Little Liars necklace. And I don't know if you can see that, but it says, "Got a secret, can you keep it? A." Charles is dead, or assumed to be dead, but I'm pretty sure he's dead. I'm on the Charles is dead train. I know there's some people like debating if he's not, or because with this show you never can tell if someone is really dead or not, but I believe that he is dead. We also find out he was a psychopath. I mean, we already knew that, but we also find out that he was a psychopath from when he was a kid. He tries to drown Allie when she was 11 months old. Also find out that Charlie was Allie's older brother. And he was also sent to Radley when he was a little boy because of that incident that he did with Allie. Like almost drowning her, like putting her in a tub with scalding hot water and just watching her. Like, okay, that's just messed up. Don't really get why he's acting like this. Like, we don't know what caused him or motivated him. Like, what was his motivation behind him being crazy and hating Allison even from when she was a baby. We don't get the story behind that, but hopefully we somehow find out. Charlie gets sent to Radley. He dies at 16. Then the girls and Jason find, well, besides Emily, find his grave, find his aunt's house, Aunt Carol's house, which Aunt Carol did visit Charlie while he was in Radley. Carol is dead, but her house is very creepy and shady, and it reminded me of that haunted house that the girls passed by in the Halloween episode. It gave that really creepy feel. We're assuming that it's empty, but I don't know. Hannah, this part was like kind of terrifying, but it made me laugh. Hannah was like so motivated to dig it up because she was like, no body, no proof. She has a shovel nearby and she starts randomly trying to dig it up. And Jason's like, wait, stop. Realized that the weeds are kind of growing over the tombstone and like this grave has been there for years, and so A can't just plant that there. So I'm assuming, I'm guessing that Charlie is dead. Charlie is dead. Spencer comes up with this theory that probably whoever is Charles now knew him in Radley. So Charles died in Radley, and this person knew him or was close to him and is taking the identity of Charles and torturing them. We get a flashback of Jason and Mrs. D when Jason has that elevator accident. He was hiding from Wilden because he thought Wilden was onto him. He goes to his Aunt Carol's house because he knows that house is empty and he was just gonna stay there. And then Mrs. D is there and she's acting really suspicious and making all these excuses to why Jason can't stay there for just a night. The plumbing is broken, and then she says that I can't remember what she said really, but she was just making all these excuses. And then there was like this loud noise that came from the house, and she said, oh, that was just the wind. But I think she was hiding Charles in there, like not the real Charles, but whoever is being Charles if Charles is dead. If you guys have seen my videos before, PLL video, theory videos, whatever, I mentioned that I think Cece is Charles, and so I think that Mrs. D was hiding Cece in there. She was protecting someone, so I think like that's what it was. And like I've read other things to why Cece can be A and whatnot. If you wanna read a really good Cece is A theory or Cece is Charles, whatever you want to call it, I'll leave the PLL theorist down below. She's on Tumblr and she has really good theories, like mind-blowing. They're really long and they take a lot of your time reading, but it's worth reading. It's so good. Her name is Rachel. I talked to her on Twitter, and before she made that Tumblr post, she was telling me all of these things, and at first I was like, what? I never doubted her, but like a lot of the stuff that she's told me has happened on the show. And I'm not saying that she's right and all that, it just amazes me how she's been right almost this whole time. Well, actually this whole time she has been. But anyway, I'll leave it down below if you want to read it. We get flashbacks of Spencer in the dollhouse with blood all over her shirt, face, and her hands, and all the blood on the floor. And she wakes up and A makes her think that she hurt someone, but in reality Charles was just playing mind games on her. Arya tells her that was probably just fake blood. You know, Charles is just up to his mind games again. That's what I'm guessing too. When I first saw that scene, I thought maybe it was Mona's blood, because unless that was like fake blood, like from a Halloween store or like paint or something, but I just thought it was Mona's blood because you know how much blood Mona had in her fridge. I don't know. Anyone else thought of that? We also see another flashback from Arya when she was in the dollhouse, and she also finds a note from A saying that Arya is their doll. I can't really remember the saying, what it was, but it was next to this bottle of paint. And from that, she gets a flashback of her in the dollhouse, and there's a message from A saying that she has to dye her hair pink or she loses it all. Bottle of pink hair dye, and then she notices her hair is chopped off short, and Charles cut her hair in her sleep. How was she asleep unless she was drugged? But you know, if she wasn't drugged, she's a heavy sleeper. Arya finally opens up to Byron about what happened. Well, not what happened, but how her room looked like in the dollhouse. It was a nice moment, you know. She finally opened up. Spencer is back on her drug addiction. No, Spencer, no. He finds out that Arya throws the rest of her pills away because it wasn't helping Arya. So she goes to Arya's trash can, and she's just so desperate for these sleeping pills. She couldn't find the pills in the trash can, and so she asks this one girl that's working at Ezra's Brew, this new girl, I can't remember her name. She asks her to make pot brownies, basically, or pot cookies, and the girl makes them for her, and Ezra kind of knows what's up in the end and kind of warns her about it, like, it's not gonna give you full-on comfort, like, the effect of those are gonna wear off, and then what are you gonna do? You're gonna still be stuck with the pain. Kinda just shrugs him off and takes the cookies or the brownies or whatever. Pot is the last thing Spencer needs right now. The whole thing with Sarah again running away. Something about Mrs. Fields finding Sarah on their roof. It reminded me of that story how they found Toby's mom on top of the roof at Radley. Did anyone else think of that? I saw it on Twitter too, like some people were tweeting out, but it reminded me of that. So is there a connection? All roads lead back to Radley. I don't know if I trust this Sarah girl. I'm still kinda not so sure about her, but at the same time I feel like I should trust her. A bond forming between Emily and Sarah. Emily takes her to the pool and they're swimming, and it really reminded me of Paley, and I was getting kind of emotional because I miss Paley so much. Like, I don't hate Sarah and Emily together, but I just rather have Paley. Yeah, something's gonna happen. You can already tell. Caleb, things are a little rocky right now. Caleb is very protective of Hannah, and I understand that. He's such a caring boyfriend and he really cares for Hannah. But then he overreacting a little bit, so at the end of the episode, Hannah says, I need some space. There's no Mona in this episode. No Toby in this episode. Where are they? The end of the episode, he is in their lair on their computer. Looks like they have tracking devices on the girls, or there was like a map of Rosewood on the computer screen, and it was like beeping locations of where the girls were, like Arya's house, Montgomery's house, the Fields' house. But then they find out Emily is at the community pool with Sarah, you know, Sting's household and then the Marin household. Like, dang, like that's creepy. There seems to be like an ongoing theme that A loves candy or sweets because there's a bowl of candy next to them. But yeah, this episode was really good. I mean, at least we found out a few things about Charles, and we're getting closer and closer to 610, so oh boy. Marlene did tweet out that we'll find out all of the A team members before 610, so in 6A. So I don't really trust anything that she says, but I'm keeping my hopes up and trying to be positive. I don't want this show to end at all, because this show has been a big part of my life. You know, I was 14 when this thing aired, and I'm 19. I'm gonna be 20 this year, and the show has really made an impact on my life. May drive me crazy a lot of times, be pissed off and annoyed, but yeah, it's finally coming together. I feel like this season will be one of the best seasons. What did you guys think of the episode? Let me know your thoughts and theories. Let's talk about it. I'm gonna go now, and bye guys, peace out.